I don't think enough people understand how truly powerful volume eating is when it comes to trying to lose weight. So I just got off the phone with a client of mine who's trying to lose weight. He's already down like 8 pounds, so shout out to bro. You probably know who you are if you're seeing this video because we just talked about this. But one of the struggles he was having with the meal plan that I gave him was he had trouble even getting the food down. And keep in mind, he was still losing weight, so he was in a caloric deficit, but still was having trouble with the volume of the foods. So that just kind of made me want to come on here and talk about that a little bit to you guys, because we had a really productive conversation about it and why this kind of happens. So when you start losing weight, especially if you start off at a relatively high body fat percentage, you have a lot of leptin, which is the hormone that tells you that you're full, and you don't have a lot of ghrelin, which is the hormone that tells you that you're hungry. Leptin is generally stored in body fat. So the more body fat you have, the more leptin you have, the less your body is going to tell you that you're hungry, and the more it's going to tell you, hey, we're full, we don't need a ton of food. So what a lot of people notice when they start off a diet is they're not super hungry, and they go into it those first couple of weeks, and it's very easy to lose weight. But what happens as you get deeper and deeper into the diet and you lose more and more body fat is you have less and less leptin available because of the lower body fat, which means your body's going to be telling you less and less that you're full, and you have more and more ghrelin, so your body's going to continue to tell you more and more that you're hungry. So the game plan that me and my client kind of came up with was, instead of having a ton of volume in his meal plan right off the bat, we're going to bump down the volume. So taking things like, instead of potatoes, which are really satiating, doing white rice, which is not as satiating, which sounds counterintuitive, but since he's having trouble with the volume, we're going to start the diet out low volume. So things like white rice that are very easily digestible, don't really fill you up, more chicken thighs instead of chicken breast. And then as the diet progresses, he starts to lose more and more weight, and his leptin starts going down, ghrelin starts going up. Then we can slowly reverse back into higher volume meals, like taking that white rice and doing potatoes instead, which are very satiating. Going back to the chicken breast instead of chicken thighs, and then supplementing the dietary fat from other sources. Aim of the game when it comes to dieting and dealing with the increase in hunger as you get to lower calories and lower body fat is just increasing those volume eating foods. So throwing in stuff like cauliflower rice instead of white rice eventually when you get really deep into a diet. All this stuff kind of makes a big difference and is why a lot of people aren't able to stick with a diet long term. But I honestly learned a ton from this as well. As a coach, I'm always trying to learn more through my experience with my clients. So this is probably a technique I'm going to be implementing a lot more in the future with some of my clients. Starting the diet off with lower volume foods and then progressively ramping up the volume of the foods more and more as their hunger starts to go up and their body fat starts to drop. So if you're watching this, bro, you know who you are. Keep it up, bro. Good shit. You're killing it. And yeah, that's pretty much just all I wanted to say, guys. Just wanted to give you a little bit of info about some dieting techniques. Hope you enjoyed.